everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Angry Game Show, where I do reviews on any kind of games. But not really. Anyway, my name is Rick, and today we're gonna take a look at a cartoon. So, when I was a kid, I used to watch a ton of cartoons on television, and my favorite channel happened to be Cartoon Network. It had series that I absolutely loved, like Megas XLR, Kids Next Door, and Scooby-Doo. As I grew up, I stopped watching Cartoon Network. However, recently there are some really good cartoons that I started following, like Adventure Time, Regular Show, Gumball, and well, Steven Universe. So today we're gonna talk about Steven Universe. I'm gonna tell you why I love this cartoon so much and why I think it's changing the animation industry as we know it.
Steven Universe is a very peculiar cartoon. In case you don't know, this show is about this group of aliens who protect the Earth called the Crystal Gems. The Crystal Gems consist of Garnet, the silent and strong leader, Amethyst, the comic relief, Pearl, the big-nosed samurai girl, and Steven, the obligatory human kid. Because, you know, every cartoon needs to have a kid hanging out with superheroes. Okay, jokes aside, Steven is also part alien, and he's trying to learn how to use the powers in his gem. You see, the crystal gems are from a species of aliens who are basically rocks that can create bodies from pure light. That is why all of them are named after rocks. A gem can only exist as long as their gem is intact. So if you crack the gem, you kill the alien. So this is basically the plot. Crystal gems, aliens, save the world, and Steven occasionally screws things up. The story may look simple and, well, during the beginning it really is simple. But later on it gets much deeper in levels that you wouldn't expect to see in a children's show. Okay, so I'm going to wait a little bit before talking more about the main characters, because I feel like we need to talk more about the supporting cast first. The side characters are mostly citizens of Beach City, the place where the gems live, and they develop strong relationships with each other and, more importantly, with the main cast. I often find the side characters easier to relate to than the main cast, because they seem to have more human problems. My favorite side character of the bunch is actually Steven's dad, and well, if I want to talk about Steven, I need to talk about this guy first. Mr. Universe is an old musician who fell in love with a gem called Rose Quartz. Long story short, they both decided to have a kid. But in order for that to happen, Rose needed to give up her physical form and retreat into her gem, so Steven could grow out of her gem instead? I don't know, they never really explained that. Okay, so the point is, Steven's mom is not around, Steven needs to take her place as part of the Crystal Gems, and Mr. Universe needs to raise his son while dealing with the fact that his wife is dead. Anyway, Mr. Universe is my favorite character of the show because he reminds me a lot of my dad. He's a really friendly father who is always trying to become a better role model, and the fact that my dad was a musician as well really made me appreciate this character. I really thought they would make Steven's dad a slacker who gave up from his duty of raising Steven and just pass it on to the gems. However, I was gladly surprised when I saw that he played an active role in Steven's life. It is also really interesting to see how every character deals with the fact that Steven's mom is gone. Rose Quartz was the leader of the Crystal Gems and she was the glue that held them together, but with her gone, this job fell in the hands of Steven. As Steven grows during the series, he ends up making the gems a stronger group. It is really cool to see their relationships develop from dysfunctional messes into strong ties of friendship. Like how Amethyst and Pearl hate each other in the beginning of the series, but in the second season they become really close. This gives us a nice sense of progression since the characters keep evolving and we end up discovering more about their pasts and more about the universe itself. It is not like Adventure Time where they never explain anything. In Steven Universe there is some exposition about who everybody is and what is happening. It is not that much, but it does a good job.
So now I just talked about the positive points of the plot. However, before I move on to music and inspirations of the show, I need to talk about the only bad part of this. The beginning. Why is it so bad? Well, because it's slow as shit.
Yeah, the beginning is what turns off most people. The early episodes serve as an introduction to the world and the characters, but they feel kind of unfocused. It is not like the first episodes were bad, some of them were actually really good and well thought out. However, my main problem is that they felt like they had no idea where the series was going. It felt like a really basic and generic cartoon, like a Monster of the Week show. And besides that, there was a big problem with Steven. That kid was fucking retarded. I swear that for some time he was my least favorite character. In the beginning he felt like a heavy bag that just doesn't shut the fuck up. His lack of mental skill was what caused most of the problems in the first place. However, as the show progressed, it got more of a direction. And Steven started growing up and acting more like a useful member of the team. You know, instead of the annoying kid. Especially after he got the pimp ass pink lion.
Okay, so now I can stop complaining and talk about my favorite part of the show. The music.
Okay, when you have the time, search on YouTube Steven Universe Amalgam, and you'll see the kind of glory that this show provides. This show soundtracks is inspired by anime, popular pop songs, 80s rock songs, and even some Brazilian songs. I think. I mean, there's a song in the second season that sounds a bit like a Brazilian song, so... Anyway, music's a big part of Steven Universe because every character's fighting style is inspired by a dance style. The creator of the show even stated the kind of songs that each character would listen to. Amethyst would listen to the Jet Set Radio soundtrack, Pearl would listen to pianos, and Garnet would listen to this chick called Stell... Fanta. Fanta? Like the fucking beverage? Yeah, apparently this Stell is the voice actor of Garnet, and since Garnet is purple, my brain's making many associations with grape flavor now. Actually, every gem has a singer as a voice actor. That is why they sing from time to time in the show. Even Nicki Minaj voices a character in this show. It gets really crazy. Most of the songs are really memorable and they deserve to be remembered. Especially the theme song. Anyway, another thing that I find interesting about this show is the concept of fusions. Yes, this show takes some inspiration from Dragon Ball, and man, I wasn't expecting that. Here, fusion is a technique used by 2 or more gems in order to become a stronger warrior. Although every gem identifies itself as a female, they are asexual in reality. I mean, what do you expect from freaking rocks? So yeah, fusion is their only way to form a connection. You know what, I take it back, talking about this was a bad idea. Anyway, the show never really hides what fusion is all about, so it ends up being a clever way to talk with children about this kind of subject. And if you had no freaking idea what fusion was all about, it becomes really obvious when you look at Pearl. Pearl was the second in command of the Crystal Gems when Rose was around, and they were close. I mean really close. I can't really explain how damaged Pearl is without giving away some spoilers about the show. If you decide to watch the show, pay close attention to her. Trust me, you won't regret it.
Okay, so I don't want to make this video too long because you know, Cartoon Network might want to kill me. Anyway, Steven Universe gets a recommended from me.
Steven Universe is a show about relationships and family. It is all about the connections we have with each other and how they affect us and change us. It is a cartoon that shows that any kind of family is important. You can have a mom and a dad, 2 moms, just 1 dad, it doesn't matter. It shows that a family is a family no matter what. Even your friends can be part of your family. It also might be one of the first children's cartoons that shows functional lesbian relationships, and I praise that, even though some people are really close-minded about this subject. The beginning might turn you off since it's so slow, but things gradually get better, and in episode 26, oh boy, you're going to be freaking hooked. After that episode, this show becomes a freaking anime. Anyway, this show is really freaking good and it definitely deserves your attention. So by all means, give this show a chance. Steven Universe is certainly a gem.
So this is it, my Steven Universe review is complete. Say what you want about the show, but I think it's pretty damn good. Now if you excuse me, I need to get out of here before Cartoon Network tries to sue me. See ya!